Yes, it's bad. You knew it was going to be bad. You clicked on the video because you want to find out how bad is it. The Helix Store is a staple of Assassin's Creed ever since Assassin's Creed Origins, and it returns in Assassin's Creed Shadows, and I don't think it should be allowed off the hook just because it's been around this many times. As much as I'll be making positive videos about Shadows, I think it's only fair that we also sometimes dip into some of the negative ones, and I feel like with the Helix Store, because it's a staple of gaming at this point to have an in-game store, Assassin's Creed follows suit and we get a myriad of microtransactions. I made a video last year talking about the microtransactions in Assassin's Creed Mirage and how they were not very good for a game that was only £35 to buy. Assassin's Creed Shadows, however, is a different story entirely because it's a full mainline entry. I consider Mirage sort of a spin-off sidequel to Valhalla. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a massive mainline entry to Assassin's Creed, so it's going to have more egregious microtransactions. So we're going to go through the Helix Store today, and we're going to analyse it. And yes, I understand a lot of people are probably waiting for me to review this game. They're probably waiting for the big narrative, scripted videos, but the truth is, I didn't get this game early, I got it at the same time as everyone else, and I'm slowly making my way through the story, and I'm trying not to think about it, too critically. I don't want to make videos as I play through the story. I want to wait until I finish the story and can properly summarise my thoughts. However, at the time that this video is coming out, me and the Exile have done a live episode of the Odyssey, our Assassin's Creed themed podcast. So if you want to get an idea of my thoughts and impressions, I highly recommend hopping over to the Odyssey YouTube channel and giving it a watch. But for now, let's talk about the Helix Store. Probably last week at this point, I did a video where I went over everything in Assassin's Creed Shadows' Animus hub. The Animus hub is where the store is found, and it's also where they've delegated a couple of extra bits and pieces. And as I said in that video, quite a lot of it is good. You know, if you go into Animus, the project stuff, you've got this battle pass-esque thing which lets you use the exchange. The exchange is a way of getting free cosmetics that you would normally only be able to get in the shop. And the reason I'm mentioning this ahead of time is because that's Ubisoft's excuse. So the loop that Ubisoft want you to make when playing Assassin's Creed Shadows is that you'll go into projects and you'll see this little mini battle pass-esque thing. You get 1,000 keys for the first stage of the battle pass, and what do you do with those keys, you may be wondering? Well, you go into the exchange and you redeem those keys for microtransactions or gear packs that you would normally not be able to afford. So this is a weekly selection that rotates in and out, so you can't just spend these keys on anything. You have to spend those keys on the items that are in the weekly store. That's how they justify what we're about to see. Here it is. The Helix Store, the dreaded Helix Store, which is, it's a staple, like I said earlier. This has been in Assassin's Creed for the last 7 or 8 years. They're basically where Assassin's Creed Shadows has shoved all of its fantasy elements. I am so thrilled that about 20 hours into Assassin's Creed Shadows so far, I've experienced no fantasy elements. There's not even any pieces of Eden. Everything is really subtle and, you know, very grounded in reality for the most part, apart from some of the abilities. This is where the fantasy element becomes, sort of rises to the surface. So we've got a couple of packs that are already available. There's 4 main packs that are available at launch, along with all of these additional packs for the hideout and stuff like that. So, first of all, you've got your traditional gear packs. These are going to include outfits for Naue and Yasuke. You get a full outfit, you get weapons, a mount, and a trinket, but that cannot be justified by the price, okay? You get 300 Helix credits randomly by starting the game. I don't know how I got these. I seem to just be gifted them after playing so many hours of the game. Keep in mind that it's 2,300 to get 2 outfits and the mount and all that, okay? And that's how much it's going to cost you. That is how much it's going to cost. 16 Great British Pounds. You may as well ignore this top row as well. They seem to do this in all of the Assassin's Creed games. In fact, not even Assassin's Creed, they do it in other franchises as well, where they pretend like they're giving you bonus credits. Like, oh, buy 1,000 and we'll give you an extra 50. You've never seen 1,000 credits on this page and you will never see 1,000 on this page. I guess it's trying to say that it's more valuable than buying 1,000 of the 500 packs, but at the same time, I don't see the point. You may as well just black out this entire first row here, because really what you're doing is you're paying £16 for 2,300, which is very conveniently the price of a gear pack. I mean, I would be fuming if they'd made it like 2,200 and 2,100 and just under what you needed for a gear pack. That would be incredibly sleazy, but at the same time, £16 for 2 outfits and a mount and stuff in a single player game where there's already a massive range of outfits on offer. I just don't think this is acceptable. I think it is really expensive. I remember, this is going to be such a tangent, back in the day, did anybody play the Transformers Dark of the Moon video game adaptation? It was a prequel to the movie. This is such a tangent. Anyway, for that game, you could purchase Sideswipe as a playable character in the multiplayer. And I remember, I think he was a pre-order bonus, but when I got the game, I only had to pay 40 pence and I got this whole new character model, new transformation, had his own unique weapons. And that was 40 pence. You know what I mean? People go on about horse armor. There is DLC that has been so much better. And that was 2011. Here we are 14 years later. And we're getting £17 for 2 outfits. Which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. From what I understand, I believe the outfit packs in Mirage were about £7 or £8. So this is double. This is like more than double. It's ridiculous. These are way too expensive, and we cannot allow them to justify it. Are these outfits amazing? Yes. I'll be honest, they're amazing. I really want this outfit, this one with the burned hat. I mean, look at it. That's really cool. It's nicely animated. The paper actually moves when you spin now around. It's got a nice design, nice colour scheme, some fire effects. The weapons are also like molten themed. They're cool. They're cool fantasy weapons, which people are probably going to really enjoy using. But it's just that price tag. And yes, I could just wait and potentially get this in the weekly exchange and get some of these parts of the outfit for free. And yes, that is what I plan on doing. But that does not justify 2,300, which is basically just a £17 price tag on all of them. The second thing I want to mention is the individual prices. So this, for example, if I wanted just Naoya's version of that fiery molten outfit, it's only 500 credits less, which is insane. So if we just look at this on its own, you're basically getting Naoya's half of everything for only 500 credits less. 500 credits is like £4. So instead of paying £17, you're basically paying like £13, but you've still got to get this bundle because there is no £1,800 version of the bundle here. So it is encouraging you massively to buy both characters. Even if you never play as Yasuke, they want you to play as both characters. And I just find that really kind of grimy, to be honest. I don't think this is a good practice to be taking. No matter how good your designs are, it doesn't justify it. Now, there's other things in the game as well. Now, also, this is another thing I was not expecting. So I bought the digital deluxe version of Assassin's Creed Shadows and I got the Sekiro pack for free, okay? Well, for free. I technically paid the £15 extra to get it, which was a bit sleazy as well, but I basically already bought this £15 pack without realising it. But I don't even get everything in the Sekiro pack. Aside from those outfits that we saw earlier in the exchange, there's also skins for your Shinobi League. And this is the Sekiro pack for your Shinobi League, and I don't have it. Which means that even when you pay to get these packs, you're not getting everything under that theme. So I could buy, for example, I could buy the Molten, the KN pack. I could buy this pack, but I'm not getting all the content that is associated with that theme. I would then have to go in again and purchase the animal pet skins or the the Shinobi League outfits, which is really quite bad. And it's almost, I want to say false advertising. Oh, we'll get to that. I almost want to say it's false advertising, because when you buy the Sekiro pack, you expect to get everything in it. So you have to be very careful with what you're purchasing. And I mean, this is £4, right? This is 500 credits for outfits that you don't even wear. I had no idea that each one of the Shinobi League have their own separate outfits that you can buy separately. That's terrible. So, for example, the bundle is 500 credits, right? Or for 250 keys, I could get just her outfit. Now, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but in my version of Shadows, I'm playing it on canon mode. And some characters aren't exactly in the game anymore. So, if I bought this guy's outfit, I can't actually use it, which strikes me as a little bit odd. I did not realise that. Anyway, my theory before the game came out was that the Shinobi League would be the characters that you play as in multiplayer. If that is the case, then I can justify these outfits being purchasable, but if not, why? You're never going to see these outfits in the game, and if you do, it's going to be for brief moments. And finally, we have to get to the obvious one. You can buy in-game money with Helix credits, which is really just depressing. You can also buy hideout resources, and something I've noticed, especially when I've been doing the castles, or when I've been doing, the camps where you can find resources, is they're very, very limited. And some of the hideout buildings that you can build yourself, for example, some of them will give you in-game bonuses. So one of them gives you like 10% XP permanently, an extra 10% XP on every level, which is a game changer. But it's so difficult to get resources in the game that you're almost encouraged to buy 1,000. And if I went to buy it, I need an extra 700, which I can't really get unless I pay an extra £10. But I can't, I would have to pay an extra £10 to get that. For the extra 1,050, I'm more likely to upgrade to the 1,050. And by then, I've got 50 leftover credits, so I might want to save up and buy a bigger pack. And it's just, I don't think it's a good practice. The one thing I will say about all of this is, it's totally optional. And it's also delegated to the Animus hub. So in some sense, you may never even see this Helix store. You may never know it exists. You may just click straight into the game and go for it, which is what you probably should do, because there's a pack here, which was also in Mirage, but I think it's even worse here, and it is the map pack. Okay? The map pack will unlock all the open world activities and chests in the game, so you will know where every single location is. Now, in these RPG Assassin's Creed games, you had an eagle in the previous games, and you would use that eagle to soar overhead and scout out different locations. Now, they removed this in Assassin's Creed Shadows with the intention that you would go to a sync point, you would climb up to a synchronization point in the map, you would look out, and you would be able to use the observe mechanic to scan for locations that looked interesting or things you wanted to see, and it encouraged you to go to these synchronization points. It gave them a sort of secondary meaning in the game, aside from just being fast travel points. What does the map pack do? It removes the incentive to explore. It is basically a way of skipping synchronizing any point in the game, because the activities that you need to do, it discourages open world exploration, which is something that Assassin's Creed Shadows, in my opinion, has really thrived at. I think the open world in Shadows is a lot more engaging than the ones in Odyssey and Valhalla, but that's just my personal opinion. Having a map pack skips it entirely, and I didn't like it in Mirage, and I think it's even worse here. And obviously, I don't doubt that in the future, this is going to get really bad, and I would be very curious to revisit this. Maybe 6 months down the line, we'll revisit the Helix Store and just see how it's changed and evolved. There's only 4 or 5 packs of each variety at the minute in the game, so I'm very worried, obviously, to see how much they're going to push it. We've got this Battle Pass, which is only free for so long. We don't know how long that's going to be free for, and that's a way of bypassing the store. That's the way of getting store items for cheap. So I can only encourage everybody to play the Battle Pass, get the keys, and use the exchange as much as possible, because you just don't know when they're going to ask you to cough up for stuff like this. So yeah, unfortunately a bit of a negative video, but I do feel a very necessary one in the life cycle of this game. It's something important to cover, and I don't think it can be ignored. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe for more Assassin's Creed content, and I will see you next time.